Gentlemen, when it comes to dating, yes, looks matters, yes, height matters, yes, size matters. But today I'm going to tell you what matters even more, and the answer isn't going to be the generic word confidence. And on top of that, I'm going to show you how to approach dating in a non-douchebaggy, non-pick-uppy way, so you do not want to miss this. Hey guys, it's Brian back at you with another video where my goal is to mentor you to a rewarding career and to help you create a life you're proud of. And in that endeavor, today I want to talk about dating, more specifically men seeking women. So guys, this one's for you, and ladies, if you want to stick around, watch the video, you're more than welcome to get the inside scoop. And of course, I'd love to hear from you in the comment section below. So before I get into it, I have to preface this video and tell you that I have a lot of ground to cover today, and I encourage you guys to watch the entire video as I'm sharing with you tips from my live one-on-one course, How to Date Like a Gentleman. Boom. Let me be absolutely clear that this is not about pickup. This is not about being someone you aren't. This isn't about sleeping around with as many women as possible. There is no $2,000 boot camp here. And as you can tell, I am not a tall, athletic, white, douchey pickup artist. Instead, I am someone who has their own fair share of insecurities and my own share of genetic disadvantages. Speaking of disadvantages, you can check out all the skin here. I do have imperfections, if you will, but I was able to transition to have a healthy and thriving dating life in a very competitive dating market known as Vancouver. And now I'm happily married with the love of my life, and things are going great, and I'm very happy. So if I still have your attention, let's talk about dating. It's a simple equation. It's essentially you plus the lady, and let's focus on you for a sec. Let's be honest here. The reality is that attraction matters, right? There are some guys that are just better looking, they're taller, they're stronger, and yes, it's easier for them to date. And for the rest of us who don't have those genetic gifts, yeah, it is a lot harder to date. What's important here is that those aren't the only variables that matter. There are a whole bunch of other things that we could definitely look at. And it's just like in martial arts, right? If you aren't strong, you can be quick. If you aren't quick, well, you can be cunning. And if you don't have a long reach, well, you can be very evasive, right? And at the same time, if you can't box, you have no idea what to do with the hands, well, you can at least grapple. And the same idea applies with dating. I mean, if you're not tall, you can still have a very strong presence. If you're not strong, you can still make her feel really safe. If you're broke, well, you can clean up your finances and climb that corporate ladder to earn more money. Quick shameless plug, guys, if you want to fast track yourself to a promotion at work, this recorded course will help you do exactly that. And if you're not an extrovert, you can still make the dating interaction light and fun, but just with less words. But really, what's important here is that you have a plethora of opportunities to up yourself, to make yourself better. There are going to be things like your height or your jawline that you can't control, so you don't. And why is it going to be okay? Well, let's try this. I want you to take a moment and visualize the perfect wife, perfect partner, the perfect girlfriend. Visualize what this person's gonna look like. And at the same time, think about, what does she do? What does she do for a living? What are her friends like? What is her network of friends like? How does she treat people? How does she treat her friends? Great, so now you have a visual as to what kind of person she is, what she likes, what she looks like. Now you have to give her all the reasons to want to date you. So the idea is simple, yet not necessarily easy, but it is very simple. And essentially it's about you being the best possible you, so that it gives the lady of your dreams the reason she wants or needs to have in order for her to date you. So if you happen to be short, she must see leadership in you. If you happen to be broke, she must see ambition in you every morning you get up. If you don't happen to be a physically attractive person, that's okay, but she must see you as the most secure man in the world. So that means if you are a bum, you have no career, you sit in your butt, you are overweight, you eat junk food all day, you're giving her a whole bunch of reasons not to even want to spend time with you, not to even want to look at you. You need to make sure that all of those reasons are gone. So obviously the next logical question is, Well, Brian, how the hell am I supposed to do that? And I will tackle that a little bit later, but for now, I just really want you to make sure that the idea makes sense and really is about you being the best version of yourself. Okay, so now let's move on to the second part of the dating equation, which is the lady. So there is a wide variety of women out there, but here's the thing, at the end of it, you only need one, which is the person you are going to marry. So if we're talking about finding the perfect woman to be your wife, it is so important for you to select the right person. And I'm gonna use myself as an example. I'm gonna geek it up a little bit with a Venn diagram. So for me, I wanted a woman who is emotionally healthy and giving, someone that I found attractive, obviously, and someone who just wants a normal guy. Like, she's sick of the bad boys, has no desire for the douchebag. Essentially, that leaves a relatively small pool to choose from. But for me, that's what I wanted, and it was on me to select for that person. And the realization for me was that essentially dating is like an interview process that can last several months, obviously at a more intimate level, but really I have the power to select or determine whether or not I want to be with this person. And the beautiful part of all of this is that it frees your mind from the urgency and weight of having to find a girlfriend, a wife, or a partner. I know that if she isn't the one, whether that's in the first date or 3 months from now, that's okay. I can walk away and everything is going to be fine. It's just so freeing, and essentially you're giving yourself the power and permission to walk away. And at the same time, if you do find someone that checks all your boxes, you're giving yourself the permission and power to be vulnerable, to be open, to go all in to the relationship. Putting this all together, it's about being the best possible you and to select for the right woman for you. That's essentially the super general, high level, big picture idea that I want you to take away today. But at the same time, I realize that there is so much more into all of everything I just said. And I will tell you that once I fully understood this and was actually able to apply this thinking, I had a thriving dating life. And to me, a thriving dating life meant 2 dates a week. Anything beyond that was too much of an interference with regards to my work-life balance. I mean, I wanted to see my friends, family, other hobbies, etc. And I think anything more than 2 dates a week was just too much. So for me, that was what I considered a thriving dating life. But in order to get there, I made an embarrassing amount of mistakes. Obviously, awkward conversations, awkward moments, first date blunders, insecurities bubbling up, leading into arguments, and so much more, which segues us into the how, right? Brian, how do I ask a girl out? How do I become more attractive? How do I do it all in a non-fake way, in a more genuine way, so I can be me, so that you guys can be you? Well, obviously, there's just so much that we can get into. I mean, every topic opens another window of other topics. There's a lot more ground that we need to cover that goes beyond this video, which is why I created a live one-on-one course called How to Date Like a Gentleman. And it's essentially you and me in front of this webcam or FaceTime or what have you, talking about how to date like a man, a gentleman. But here's what this course isn't for. It isn't for pickup. It doesn't teach you the best lines to manipulate women. It doesn't teach you how to nag or insult women to manipulate them into liking you. This won't teach you how to have threesomes or to bed a whole bunch of women. You're not going to find any of that here. Instead, I'm really bringing back the traditional values and that traditional core ideas and dynamic of dating, but modernizing it for today's time, knowing Tinder, knowing online dating, just knowing how we have grown up as millennials and generations before and generations after in this day and age of the dating dynamic, recalibrating it for today's world. We're going to keep it simple. There are no complicated routines, no complicated lines. There's no play-by-play. It's all principle-based. It's all ideas-based. But of course, I will give you guys tactical tools to get started. And the foundation to all of it is essentially the two things that I talked about today, which is about selecting for the right woman for you and to do everything in your power to make yourself a better you. So guys, this is a live course, one-on-one, just you and me. and we go into the content, how to approach women, how to ask them out, when to text them back, when to call them back, first, second, third date ideas, how to avoid awkward moments, etc. And there's going to be a designated Q&A section where we can further clarify the topics that we've talked about, or we can go beyond that, whatever you want to talk about. Guys, it's obviously not a bootcamp session, and to that point, it's a lot more affordable than bootcamp, but more importantly, it's tailored, it's one-on-one. You're not in a room with other men there watching you, judging you. It's just you and me. It's also very confidential, and I think it's important because we're going to be talking about your insecurities, your dating history, a lot of private stuff that I think should be maintained in a one-on-one dynamic. So if you are interested, definitely check out the link below in the description or click on the card above. I highly recommend that you book time with me earlier than later, only because, as you know, this channel is a hobby of mine. This is a passion project of mine. This is not an income stream per se. I have a thriving full-time career that I really love, but it does keep me really busy. I'm traveling a lot, meetings booked, and as a result, my availability is limited, so I recommend that if you want to sign up for this course, do it now rather than later. Guys, I'm going to leave it there for now, but I will have more dating videos to come in addition to my regular career mentoring content. If you have a question that you want me to answer, whether it's about this topic today or about career, you can go to my website, 101mentoring.com, submit your questions that way. It's free mentoring advice, and I'll answer that in a future video. Or you can check out my products and services sections. I have other courses that you can sign up for about leadership, effective communication. We do resume and mock interview screening as well. So guys, thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you next time. Cheers.